Welcome to the Ponderous Brick Thinker. This is another installment in Learning from the Pros. In this episode, we're going to continue with Lego Set 10314, Dried Flower Centerpiece. In the previous installment, we have gotten about 1/3 of the way through. We completed the base, and in the second bag, the outer perimeter of the floor arrangement. Now for the next part is bag 3, and what I'm going to assume is the top layer of the floor arrangement. I'm going to keep this a little bit here because it looks like it's going to be for these particular flowers, and I don't want them everywhere while I'm dealing with it. This one seems a little bit mixed. I see what should be for the shoulder pads or decorations for minifigs. They found another use for them. But I'm gonna have these ready because it seems like it has other pieces I need too. So for bag 3, I see we have another what will become part of the base supporting the flowers, but they're very posable. They have the ball joint, so that it can be maybe customizable, at least in our final outcome. But we'll see what needs to be done to make it look like the picture. Because right now, looking at the outer edge, you kind of see you see the base. So we'll see how successful everything comes together. All right, we're gonna start out with a plate 2x4 with a rounded corner up. We're gonna need this one. A dark orange 1x2 with rounded corners. Let's see here. And then a brown, 1x4, and another 1x4. And then we're gonna need two black 1x4s, but how are they gonna, just one. But come in like this, and then put these olive green tri-leaves, and go like this, and like so. Then we're gonna get the ball joints here, the 1x2 modified. And then two on this side. Okay, and so on this side, it's going to be a regular 1x2. It might be in a bag, I don't see it, but then we're going to need a modified 1x2 with two claws. So at least that right there, and I see a dark gray 1x2, which looks correct. Like that, and then we need a black rod. It's a black or is it dark gray? I see a dark gray. And another dark gray. Yeah, I don't see. Oh, I see it now. Okay, so we have this one here. It's going to be attached like so. I'm assuming it's going to touch this piece right here because this doesn't indicate where to place it. But we're going to add a 1x2 with a single stud on top. And then a 2x2 with a single stud. And another 2x2 with a single stud. With, let me get this a little bit there. With those tile pieces that have a curve on one side. I'm probably gonna have to empty the bag. It's starting to run out of the what were the free pieces, not in smaller bags. And now I'm probably gonna go into those floor arrangement pieces now. Then we're gonna start with this one. It's gonna need a Technic ball joint with a brown cone. See, I think in the last one it pushed until you hear it snap. Let's see. Nope. So that's all the way in with a dark gray rod. Here it is. Oops. Okay. Here and another one kind of just attached there. That's curious. Usually we build something before attaching it to the base, but upward like that. Now we're going to get into repetitive mode, but let's see how we do it. So we need one of these. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we need 4. Which is curious because that would give us 24, but it's asking. Oh, there we go. There's the 25th piece. But 24 on these green plant bases. They fit in right there. So the other thing about this set is it uses a lot of the colors I'm using for the stones in my current castle build. And it just goes to show you that with a minor tweak, these colors can represent something else. Maybe because of the shape, the way the texture is used. Like for example, this part right here, it does look naturalistic, but yet it's gears for a Technic piece or Technic set. And that's very interesting. One of the things I don't have a lot of is the olive color. So that is what kind of pulls it in the direction of dried flowers. Otherwise, it will just look dry, dry plants. But having the different combinations and the proportions of how much color is present in the centerpiece really improves the chances of it being recognized as dried flowers. On the other hand, because the other bouquet was, it was vibrant. I think it was leaning towards more um, reserved because some of the colors were muted, but had like the vibrant orange tulips or poppies. I forget what colors were, but there was bright orange mixer. But there was meant to be the not the centerpiece, but just the correct balance of color to make it look interesting. Yet the other pieces were somewhat muted. And this is where, when you have a group building it, each person can take care of one of these little bouquets, and then you can put it together without having to hurt yourself. Okay, so that's 6 is the number of spokes per of these green pieces. Maybe they're dark green. So it is, one should completely cover it. I think for the lavender in the other bouquet, it was maybe 3 for something like this. So it wasn't completely covered. But here they're emphasizing it looks almost globular, spherical, the way that they arranged it. So it was, I guess it was important for every spoke to have a little flower. Okay, so then we're gonna get these are ready, but I need to build this before getting there. So it's one of these one-studded brick with a lot of horizontal studs on all sides, got a flower underneath, and then we're gonna get 2 brown stems and stack them on one side. So this is what gets into the rod there, and these come in at all angles. So even with this, you see the circular nature of this construction. It's not perfect spherical, but the way that they arrange the spokes, it really speaks to that it looks like a little sphere. Now this part, there is not a the dark green base, so I think it's gonna rest something like this. So this, if there was something green here or one of these spokes, it would have probably got in the way. So we're gonna go like this with this part downward and just push it in like that. And then we're gonna use 2 tri-leaves, kind of insert it through one of these claw things. And it's going to attach to the gray rod. I would say on top so that it can hide that part, but it's interesting that gray and black are used when another color could have been used. For example, this could have been brown. There's brown here, but not there. It's interesting that it doesn't call its attention to itself, which I guess they're taking advantage of so that more colors are present than just the brown or the green or red even. But let's see, this one is the dark orange leaf pieces or the tree limbs with this. I think, yep, saw it in the previous step or installment. Goes here. And this one's going to get 2 claw pieces. One here. And one on the very opposite end. Oh, there's some verbiage. Let's see. Okay, so here we're going to get a Technic ball joint with a brown cone and an antenna coming in like this, and it's going to attach to the limb claws like so. There we go. Yes. And then another tree limb or leaf limb on that one. Oh, okay, so this is inserted through the black claw part. and rest on that there. So it's connected in two places. And this one uses this black claw part and comes in the opposite direction. And then we're going to add two more of the bright orange. I believe it's bright orange. Or maybe just orange. It's hard to say compared to the dark orange and the other muted colors. And the other one goes over here. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, this is that part. I thought this was going to be like the other one where it's just, it's just there. But here, let's see, what does this verbiage say? These small orange cosmos are made with a classic minifig element, the epaulette, first used for pirate-themed Imperial soldiers in 1989. My era. I didn't know that was, well, pirates were a thing back then. But yeah, didn't know that was the debut. Okay, so this black thing with, yeah, it's a brown coming in like this. And then these are facing like that. They don't, yeah, this one's kind of iffy. And then with the white, there. There. So the white is what keeps it stable. It doesn't come loose with that. That's what it was trying to do. But I need to do two of them. Oh, it's the other way around. The stud is pointing upward because otherwise there wouldn't be room. And the stud fits inside the epaulette, like so. Let's see if there's an extra one. And that way, one of my minifigs can have orange epaulettes. There we go. Okay, now they're going to be inserted. Where did I put you? This one. Like so. I see this one maybe. And then one right here. This one has the ability to push it in. There's nothing in the way. Okay. Oh, and then we're going to get something interesting. We have, yep, this one with this attached to a nougat, this thing. And then this one's attached to, it's attached there. So let's see. There's the ball joint. So it looks like it's right there. And now it's time to attach it to the base. Okay, from this perspective, you don't see the gray that's being used to construct these limbs or these floor pieces. So here's interesting that they used a burnt orange antenna to do the stem, but they, that's curious that they kept gray. Maybe they knew that they didn't need to do a fancy dark orange because it was going to be covered with these tri-leaves. And even it looks from the side, The gray still doesn't call attention to itself. All right, so we're going to continue with more limbs, a ball joint with Technic end with a cone. The cone also having a Technic insert with this T and like so. And on top, it doesn't really specify, but I'm going in this direction so that it can cover up more area. But if we need to bring it in because it has neighbors, we can do that too. Oh, and then we just attach it. And this one still doesn't have anything. Okay. Oh, we're gonna do. Okay, so it's still another four. I thought it was gonna be four of these, which would have been wow, that's a lot. But no, it's just another a little ball bouquet. So we're gonna get another one stud brick with a lot of horizontal studs resting on a little flower. Is this the right approach? Should be. This flower's facing up. There we go. And then two brown plates, single stud stacked, and just one of the four sides with black claw inserted like so. And then we can do the bouquet. Okay, so we're gonna need four of them, each one getting 6. Yep. Okay. And there we go. Do need to be gentle. I feel like if I press too hard, the little limbs would bend. Just have to go straight into it and not at an angle. Okay, I see a few flowers left. Maybe those are the extra pieces. Oh no, we need one more. Let's see. Okay, here's the rest. So I have the lavender color, and now I have these color in the flower shapes. So ultimately I do have plants to put in my castle. Once the season's over, but by that point I should be ready to start putting plants in the castle. Okay, here we go. So insert it into this here. Very nice. I like that. It's very organically spherical. I mean, it's not perfect, has some little variants, but overall it has the look of naturalness. So it goes right here. I wonder why they changed the approach of how to attach it. It doesn't have its own stem. Oh, and then it's just placed there. Oop. Okay. Okay. And then it goes right there. So there is even more to come because we at least have 2 levels. You just have to find a way to spread them out, cover the base a little bit. Oops, but not like that. Oops, not like that either. Let's see where we at. At least this goes here. This goes up here. Oh, that goes back in the black. And then this there. And this one goes back down, but this needs to come back in there. Maybe that tree doesn't like that base. There we go. Okay, so that's curious. There is a limit to how much they can bend. But they kind of need to overlap a little bit to cover up the base. Oh, and I believe go on the same one, something like that. Oh wait, it could be in the picture. Or maybe they go, oh, it goes here. Does it? I don't know. Okay, let's see. No, it goes like that. That's right. Thought this was going to be on here. Is there a little limb missing? Oh, there it goes. That makes sense. Yes. Okay. So it is a little bit more covered, but yet there's a little bit more needed and a few more pieces. And so let's go there after putting in. So it's just 3 of these going to the single studs that are on the very top now. There. And there. And then this one gets a flower. Like that. So by having it on the black base, you really do focus on the color that's there. The black just kind of melts away, even on video, even though it's not a black table or desk. Ooh, now one of these. Let's see. We have this circle with a round 2x2 with a single stud on top. And it gets a little flower in the center. Okay, so it starts here with this orange claw, and this thing looks like an oar, but they're saying to do it like this. Oh, okay, there is a space right here for the claw, so it doesn't slide, and this goes horizontal. I'm not sure which way the peak goes, but let's see if it matters. And then like so, and then just make sure that it's horizontal, and then do it 22 times. Whoop. So it is interesting because this is a, now I can't tell if this is a regular orange or a bright orange, but I think it is a regular orange. But next to those colors and the dark red, it's really vibrant. It really calls attention to itself in person. On the picture, it looks a little bit more golden, a little bit more subdued, but it's the same for the cosmos, where they're, even though they're bright in person, but next to everything else, it really does fit. Okay, so I lost count. Maybe I'll do them all and then see. Because there's not another flower like that. It's a the primal focal point of the centerpiece. Well, that or the rose. And then we'll see what color the rose is. Let's see if it matches the color on the box. Okay, so that's it. We have let's make it look like that. So I think like 11 because it's asking for 22. Well, yeah, 11 in between. So that's 4. It's 5. So it will also know the spacing intended. Here at this part, they can touch, but here, because of this part, they can't. So we'll see if there's enough room to space them out, because otherwise it's going to be very obvious of where the, let's call these the top and bottom, where they are at, which kind of destroys the illusion that this is a flower. And then I'm noticing this little dot detail. This is ultimately going to be on top because of that. So I'm thinking of rotating it like that because that dot can be distracting. But then also in the making of these ores, there's another dot, but I think that's a little bit more preferable. It is seen on that picture. So I'll take my chances with a picture. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. Well, that's the extent of it. So they can't be budged even a little bit. The outer edges are touching this support there. But I noticed on the picture that it's not a perfect line with the petals. So maybe that's how they disguise where's the top and bottom. Okay, so let's go to this side. Ooh, there we go. And this way. And like that. Just a little wavy. Makes it a little bit more organic looking than being perfectly on the same plane. Okay, so that's that. 24 some petals. Oh, there's some verbiage. As you put together the dark red gerbera, notice that its petals are made of minifig ore elements. It also uses a minifigure hat for the disc floret. Oh, that's a hat. There we go. All right. And then, oh, it attaches to that stem that was left alone. It's risky because we all saw what happens when you press too hard. And just need to find a right place to put your fingers. There we go. Oh, it's this side. Okay. All right. I still see some black, but even then, it's more or less not calling attention to itself. Which is an impressive design. You're able to do that. Then we're ready for book 2, where we have bag 4. Oh, there's 7 bags. Okay, so this one we can push there. Okay, so then we're going to do the base for the other half, starting with a 6x8. We'll see if this is similar to what the other side was. Could be the same. I think, okay, so that right away. But then a lot of pieces go in. So on there, nope, it's the other way. It's this way. I need a little bit more room in between each of the pieces, like that. Because then it's a 1x2 white with rounded corners. And then it's mirror placement. Here we go. 1x8. Or maybe. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And then a dark nougat, maybe? Because this is nougat, but this one seems a little bit more orange. Maybe it's dark orange. And then like that. And then we need 2 of these facing this way. So then we can have a Technic connection. So then we get 2 2x4 black plates. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's indicating that it's oh, sorry, this goes in like this. The white piece is covered. And this is flesh. Okay, and then another 2x4 plate here, and then a nougat 2x4 plate. There. And we're going to cover it with a 4x4 underneath. And a 4x4 plate with a hole. And then a curved plate. There we go. Oh. Oh, and then how it's going to attach. So we have these 2x2 rounds in the corner. And it's also reinforcing the plates because there's this part and this is the line. So very important. And then this special one goes in like this. With 2 quarter circles that go like that and like that. And then smooth plates. I'm going to assume they're 2x4s because that's what we have right there and right here. Like that. And then 1x2 smooth, or yeah, smooth. Another 1x2. 1x4 nougat smooth. 2x4 black smooth plate. There. And then down here it is a 2x4 plate on the outer edge. A nougat 2x4 plate, another nougat 2x4 with a black 2x4. A half circle with smooth borders, yeah. And then I could place it here. And then over here, it's a 2x4 with 2 studs. Oh, and then we're going to do the triangle thing again. Oh, never mind. We need more smooth plates there. So like this. And like this. So I wonder why it was not another strip of 1x4 black and then a regular 1x4 plate. So that there's studs here. But they made a decision. Okay, and then we're gonna go like this. Whoop, not like that. Doesn't, it's touching the brown. It has to be open, otherwise it can't do the triangle. And those two studs are seen. Okay. And then another two. Like that. There we go. So my eye is picking up a difference of color between right there. I'm assuming it's meant to be the same brown color, but this one seems more saturated. This one seems like a slight degree not brown, which is curious. I wonder if it was intentional. I don't think so, but that's fine. It's more natural, more variance. Okay, and then we're gonna put a dark orange 1x2 with rounded corners there. And then two tri leaves here. And here. But we're gonna use these quarter circles right there. And now I forgot why the other had it too when it's covered, even though having a nice pattern is preferable just in case the flowers miss something, they don't cover something. So even this gets the nice treatment. So overall, it's nice to look at. Okay, so that's bag 4. It's the other half. And it looks like it's so yes, this is the centerpiece, but then because of these red fin things, really makes it longer. It's just those two that's really pushing the dimensions of it to make it look bigger. But overall, it looks very nice. The colors are complementary, they go well together, and they do suggest a dried flower bouquet. The issue I'm having right now is where do I put my fingers without breaking it? But it is nice. Okay, so this has been the Ponderous Brick Thinker. Thank you for stopping by. If you liked the episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You want to see the continuation of this project, go ahead and subscribe and sign up for notifications. And see you next time.